introduce my players before we begin. First up, we have Snake and the Fixer-Upper, played by.
Ryanaga. Snake is a Yanti sorcerer um, of the Draconic Persuasion, and Fixer Upper is a half orc war priest.
Excellent. Next up, we have Tristan, played by.
Well, Tristan is a kobold wizard who is a divination wizard. He sees all but knows nothing.
The classic intelligence versus wisdom setup.
Mm.
Melrath is played by.
Starmie827, and Malrath is a dwarven eldritch.
Eldritch Knight. Excellent. And last but not least, we have Bob, played by.
Barska, and Bob is Tiefling Warlock.
Excellent. So, let us recap the situation in which the party currently finds itself. So, the last time your adventures were intrepid, the party had rushed up to the Garden of Welcome, and they had started to engage in a fight with a demonic worm-like creature named Yestabrod, who seemed to be starting some sort of demonic marriage ceremony. And I say started the fight because the fight was started and Snake ended it pretty decisively with a well placed fireball. And then within a round, I believe it was pretty much over. Then immediately after that, the party became aware of the actual wedding. Um, I don't know what to call them. I want to say caravan, but that's not right. Contingent.
Wedding party.
Party, yes, party contingent, and they were a combination of very large and very slow and very creepy. They took up a lot of space, and they were not quite able to catch up with the party, which caused them to continue to stay clustered together, causing them to be sniped by two very excellently placed fireballs that basically wiped them out. And then what was left was mopped up pretty quickly by the melee characters. And so now the situation in which you find yourself is that you have found, and I'm going to pull up the portrait for it, Yig Morgus, the World Shroom. Now, it may be a little bit difficult to see, but down around the base of that, there is a U-shaped piece there that's intended to be an entrance to the World Shroom. And you can see it down there, but down around that base, dancing madly through those stalks, are a combination of hook horrors and drow that have been infested with fungal growths. And supposedly Sovereign Philo is down around there as well. Um, and he has been raising um, corpses out of the muck and grime down below to join this group of people dancing about. So that is where we're at. Now, last time, the party had expended a great deal of resources getting to this point. And so the question is, um, at this point, having cleared out the wedding party, having cleared out Yest Abroad, it seems that there is yet still more demonic influence within the grove. And the party had learned that, wow, I can't remember. Zugtamoy, that's who it is. The demon queen of fungi has taken up residence. And so the party had been discussing killing all the revelers below and then charging into the world shroom to prevent her arrival, I believe.
So, what would happen if we ate part of the world mushroom? Would we grow big?
You would be horrifically poisoned and influenced by demonic fungi.
But who says?
All of the infected revelers down below are a pretty clear indication of that.
Oh, I just don't believe you anymore.
I mean, you're welcome to go down there and say, wait, I want to take a bite of the shroom and see how they react. I'm sure that it will be enlightening.
Are we in battle?
Not exactly. The best way for me to make it clear to you guys how the situation was down below because unlike a lot of these other spaces, Yigmorgus is I want to say it's like 10 or 15 feet down. Like you can see the cliff, right?
Oh, I see. Yep.
Yeah. So there's this cliff leading down to it, and there actually isn't, at least as far as you can see, any what's the word I'm looking for? Ramp leading back up. And so as a result, um, if you go down there, it's not impossible to get back up on your own. It's just going to be really difficult. And if there's all those shrooms down there, then like once you go down, you're kind of committing to the fight, sort of a thing.
But the spellcasters could just stand up here and fling stuff at him, right?
Yes, but that's not interesting, and I was counting on you guys not to come up with that strategy.
Well, I'm happy to disappoint, my friend.
Ditto.
Yeah. So, cool. If that's the tactic that you want to take, then by all means, feel free to continue in combat, and we'll start at the beginning of the round. You guys can walk over to the edge of that thing, start flinging whatever it is down into the pit below. How's that sound?
Well, first, do you guys want me to send bats? Because I believe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The world fungus is within 100 feet of my telepathic range, so I could go send Batty Poo to scout.
Betty Poo.
You could also
I
walk
think
right up
that's
to the
good.
cliff, and then it's completely within your range.
Well, there's a fair number of melee
Or I could
characters
not be
anyway.
next to the cliff and still be completely in range, because no.
Regardless, at this point, there's not a hell of a lot that you can't really see from here, except anything that might be behind the stalk of the world shroom.
What about inside the world shroom?
Well, there aren't actually any windows. There's really just that entrance down below, and if you're at that entrance level, then you're at the range of any melee creatures.
Fair enough.
Well, do we really want to attack something called the World Shroom or its friends?
Well, the intent so far has been to attempt to stop Zugtamoy from entering the world through the world shroom.
Oh, that's where she pops out.
All signs point to yes.
Oh, what a bitch.
I know, right? She's found this one giant world shroom to inhabit, potentially.
I say let's give it a shot, and if they start making their way up the cave walls without serious injury, we can just.
Okay, so Willis in favor. Anybody else for or against?
I'm fine with it. I just have to point out that Snake is pretty much out of artillery. So
I mean, so is Tristan, but we have cantrips, which is why I was saying if they don't start to like seriously slow down by the time they're about like a quarter up the incline, we can just be like, nope, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't
Let's
mind
say if our
running.
movement speed of 40 feet, then we're.
Can they climb up that cliff there, Alex?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to answer your question.
It's
Also,
a yes or no question.
it's actually not, and I need just a second because I'm trying to see something in particular.
Just say yes and we'll move on.
Oh, is it here? No, that's not it. Is it here? No. Is it here? Victory. All right, I found what I needed. Let me go like that just for a second, and then go bloop, and then where did he fall? There. Okay, so then I'm gonna go like that, and then close that. Move that to say there, and boop. Found what I was looking for. So, anyways, what was your question?
Oh, who's this?
Mouse over it.
I know, but I forgot.
Wait a minute. I'm so sorry. I think that's the wrong sovereign. Let me just double check.
Is that the bride or the groom?
I don't think
The groom.
I say if all else fails, we at least kill Sovereign Fuckface before we make a strategic retreat.
Yeah, and I figured that might be like a direction that you guys were gonna go, so I wanted to make sure that I actually had him.
Well, yeah, all the other ones are kind of unimpressive. Spore Servant or Sovereign. You kill the Sovereign.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
mean, one of
Okay, so this
three
is
of them are Hook Horror Spore Servant.
so
Mhm.
this is hilarious to me. In the planning for this, what they've done is they've provided the stat block for Basidia, the sovereign that is normal, and not Philo, the demonic form that the players would most likely want to kill. So I'm just going to leave Basidia on the field because I know what to do with it, and we'll just go with that, and that'll be a thing. So moving right along. To answer your question about climbing, um, the reason that it is a complicated question is because with any character who is just a regular sort of, ground treading creature, they can choose to climb. And there are rules in the book about like how much you can climb given a specific speed and, difficulty classes for making it up different types of things, yada, yada, yada. So the answer is technically anything with 2 arms and 2 legs can climb. But there are creatures that specifically have a climb stat. So the Grick, for example, um, has a specific climb speed. So whenever he's moving along a vertical surface, he just moves at that speed, and that's how much he can move in a given turn. And then you sort of mix and match that between that speed and the normal ground speed. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So, given all of that information, these creatures are capable of climbing. Whether or not they have a climb speed is unknown to you.
Okay. So, Will, you were going to send Bat, or are we just going to attack?
Well, it depends. Do you want me to waste a second level spell slot on him and make him invisible?
Oh.
No, I don't think it's necessary because our DM said we really wouldn't learn much.
Huh? I did?
Yeah, you did.
What did I specifically say?
You said that scouting wasn't going to yield much information.
Oh, about the outside, that's true, because this is a fairly clear area. Like, the only thing you can't see is whatever is immediately behind the World Shroom stock. Um, the most important information is probably about what's inside the World Shroom. And up until Will had mentioned anything about invisibility, um, it didn't seem like there was really a direction that was a direction that was going to yield useful information.
So the invisible bat could go inside undetected. Is that what we're getting at here?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, okay.
All right, then Tristan is going to board the invisible Batmobile.
Okay. Cool. Well, let me grab the next chunk here. Oh, I have apparently made a mistake. There are in fact windows. I'm glad
Windowed
that.
mushroom.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
mushroom?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So you have no clear reference to judge the towering mushroom's size at this distance. Thousands of smaller fungi cling to the main stalk, which itself splits into several lesser stalks, each long enough with a cap big enough to be the top of a great tower. The cavern floor surrounding the stalk is covered by a carpet of fungi. An eerie luminescence pours through slitted windows carved into the trunk, with the same cacophony of atonal music heard earlier echoing from within. This, a stench of rot and decay wraps around you, seemingly threatened to penetrate your flesh and pervade your soul. Um, I just want to see if nope, there's nothing written for this, so I know what to do. So, the Batmobile flutters about, and I'm just gonna have him go through a window because, whatever. You, if you checked off invisibility, you don't have to check it off. The fact that there are windows negates the need for that, and that was my bad.
Okay.
Yay.
Uh, upon entry to Yigmorgus, um, Bat flies into a fairly high up window, hoping that from this distance he'll be high enough above whatever else might be inside, that he's, going to be out of range and less noticeable. But once he manages to get through the window, he finds himself face to face with Zogtamoy. She is massive, absolutely massive. She takes up 3/4 of this stalk, and she is sort of seated. The back half of her is melded into the mushroom. There are at least 12 of those bridesmaids that you saw earlier, and they are all um, wandering around. They're putting various mycelium on her, creating a dress out of all this fungi, creating a veil out of it. And Zugtamoy's eyes are closed. She seems to be deep in meditation as the gown and veil are being prepared. Um, she doesn't move, um, but you can hear and you can hear her voice in your head periodically as she uses telepathy to give instructions to her bridesmaids.
When you said 3/4 of the stock size, can you give like a feet reference or something?
I can try. Let me see if they have an actual.
I think we're talking Godzilla size.
Can we kill it with fire?
I mean, we've learned that she's on this material plane, so our best idea at this point is if we want to kill Sovereign Dickface, and then we need to leave.
So ultimately, I think she's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 feet tall,
Okay.
and she's actually smaller than I thought she was. Not that size is everything, but I I think that the World Shroom is actually significantly taller than her. Um, but yeah. Anyways, the part that she has sort of partway melded with, you can see her own demonic fungi starting to infest and invade Yigmorgus itself. And so there are that purplish color you saw. That's a lot of the luminescence from her spores, and a lot of the other the sovereign, the other infected spore creatures dancing around below. They all seem to be that same purplish glow. So yeah.
And she's way too powerful for us to fight, right?
She is a demon so powerful that she can, or that other demons on her plane of the abyss don't bother challenging her because they know they'll lose.
Huh.
So she is the queen of her particular plane. She actually shares it with another guy, Jubilex, which I mentioned last time, who is a demonic creature of slime. He's kind of like the Blob. He wants to sort of consume everything and grow into a larger slime mass.
Demons are great.
They're so
Well,
great.
at
And
least
so,
Melrath has a positive outlook.
I know, right? 50-50 chance. That's pretty good. Anyways, no, she's a severely powerful creature.
So what I say is we bombard the guy who's trying to drag us here for fun until he dies, then we just run.
Okay. Does anyone have an opposing plan? Does anyone support that plan?
Where are we going to run to? Just
Anywhere
out?
but here.
Well, actually, you do have a specific destination beyond this particular grove, and that location would be Blingdenstone. It was the place you guys wanted to go originally, but I didn't have it planned. So I have it planned now, and you guys can go if you would like to.
I mean, I'm fine with killing what's his butt, Sovereign,
Okay.
Okay.
if we can.
Hang tight for just a second. Are one of these my notes? No, these are my study notes. Those are the wrong notes. I
But
will
Snake,
need
you
those,
said
but I
you're
don't
out
have
of
them
spell
right now.
slots.
Yeah, well, I do have one Scorching Ray available, and then I'll just have to shoot firebolts.
Hmm.
Okay, well, to get this whole thing moving, let me see here. All of their initiative order has been predetermined from last time. So, nope, that's not it. This is it. Where are you? 2, 3, 4, 2, 5. Here he is. 5. And then he's going to make it to about here. He's mostly climbed his way up that wall, but he stopped 5 feet from the top.
Well, do they know we're here yet?
Mm-hmm.
How?
In order to see the revelers down below, you actually did have to come close enough to the cliff. I just assumed you backed up afterwards.
No, we never did.
Huh?
We never Tristan is the farthest forward anyone's been.
Well, there were also a massive number of explosions coming from up here. I think that's a fair sign.
Yeah, but that was like a short rest ago. We took a short rest afterwards.
Very well. Bob, it's your turn.
And how far can I move again? 60?
It's on your character sheet. First page.
Help me out.
Help you out.
How? I don't see it.
Your movement speed is most likely 30 feet, and then if you double it with dash, it's 60 feet.
Okay.
So on the main tab, AC, initiative, speed. That's right in the
I
center.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And these are 5 each, right? The
Correct.
squares?
Yep.
Yeah, and you can diagonal too.
You can. This red circle, by the way, is still relevant. It is a cloud of demonic spores that cause spider bait to become poisoned and unconscious. You might care to avoid that.
Gross.
Yeah.
60. So that should be 60.
Does that count you going around the circle?
Yes.
Okay. All right. From here, you need to be within at least 10 feet of the edge in order to fire downwards. Actually, that's not entirely true. You need to be within 15 feet to reach anything down below, basically. The further away stuff you can reach at 15 feet, and the closer stuff you can reach at 10.
Okay.
Okay. So, shit, I lost my initiative tracker. There it is. Next up is Snake.
I'm using my dash to go here.
Doesn't
Okay.
that take you right through one of the infected squares?
No, well, can I do this or no?
No, that's a cliff downwards. Sorry.
All right. All right.
Okay. Tristan, you are up next.
Just going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors, but not going to actually fling any this turn. And then I'm going to move. And there we go.
I'm going to dash to get to the other side. And that's my turn.
I'm dashing as well. That's my turn.
Oh, so sorry. I just wanted to add that Fargus counts as an extra 5 foot of movement because he's in that square. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just moved 5 back.
Oh, okay. I looked away for a second to see if I was still in the chat. Okay, so now we get up to here. Start the initial thing. They're all going to rotate in a minute, so that'll be fine. And then... Snake, you're up. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. Not Snake. Bob. Bob is up.
And you said, hang on. Would here be close enough?
Tell me who your target is, and I'll tell you if you're close enough.
Sovereign bad guy over there.
Okay. Well, since he's a large creature, I think I have to say yes.
Okay. What do you guys think? I do have 2 spell slots. Do you want me to use high power or just a cantrip for now?
Oh,
Since
do
we're not
remember that your
sure.
cantrip has 2 beams now.
Right.
What's the high power option?
Mind Spike. I just don't know how much health he's gonna have. Can we like roll for finding out weaknesses or resistances?
Yes. You'll get some information, but keep in mind that Sovereign Philo is also infected by demonic fungi, so you can't necessarily predict all of the creature's immunities and stuff. You'll just get the standard block for Mike and his sovereigns. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah. Make your roll.
Is it insight?
No. In this case, it would be nature.
That's a mushroom, I think.
I think.
No, that's a daffodil.
All right, I'm just gonna fire at it. We'll see what happens. Failure. Ha.
Okay, so he's failed.
Oh wow.
He has taken 14 points of damage. Your mind spike targets the mushroom cap that you can see, and it flies at a fairly unnatural angle in that it goes horizontally out from you and then suddenly very sharply down without any change in curvature. But it strikes Sovereign Basidia, and he cries out in pain as he grips his mushroomy head. The other revelers are now very much aware of your presence, as he is shouting, "Alarm! Alarm! Protect Yigmorgus!" Snake, you're up.
Damn mushrooms.
10, 15, 25, 30. All right, well, Scorching Ray has 120-foot range, so I think I'm pretty good.
Are you going for Basidia as well, or are you going for the
Yes.
revelers? Okay.
So you'll allow it. Good. First, I will roll to check nature.
Got to be better than me.
I would hope. Not no.
Oh,
I jinxed it. I'm sorry.
It's not a daffodil. It's a rose.
Meanwhile, we're arguing.
Yeah. All right. So scorching ray. I'll just drop them on his head, I guess.
As long as we don't try to make out with him.
Hmm. Wow, some great rolls here.
There's still 2 more to make.
Okay then.
There you go.
Yeah, barely.
At least one of them hit.
Wow. I did everything good last time. Just gonna suck now.
Unfortunately, but we continue in the vein of multiples of 7. So Basidia takes some additional damage. There's a small fire in place, and it's quickly put out. Tristan, you're up.
okay, going to move just a little bit so I have line of sight. Then I'm going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors, hitting the space.
Oh,
Since it hits within 5 feet.
may I suggest go right-click, select pointers, select draw square, and just place a square in the square that you want the origin point to be.
Who's Melf?
Melf is actually fairly famous wizard in D&D lore.
I gotta read up on this stuff.
Yeah. Did you mean for it to be at that particular? Okay.
Yeah, because it'll hit 3 creatures that way.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that the diamond thing was intentional.
It
Okay,
was
perfect.
not.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Rather than have you just drop the damage on one of them, I am going to select targeting here.
Well, they have to make dex saves.
Right, but this should still move that a little bit. Let me try that. There.
And I'm actually going to make it a lot harder for you, because I want to use my Portent of a 5 on the Sovereign, and I'm not sure how that works background.
Let me catch up on your character's ability that I am hearing about. Portent of the 5?
Oh no, his ability's Portent. I had 2 rolls that I make at the beginning of each long rest. I still have a 5 left, so I want to make him roll a 5 on his dex save.
Okay, so then what I'm gonna say is just first of all drop the chat cast into the chat. Sovereign Basidia fails, and then the rest of them. Okay, so he failed anyway, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, now I just roll damage.
You can just drop it right in the chat. Okay. Wait, what? I thought you only got 1 meteor.
Nope, I get 2. I have 6 meteors, and I can spend up to 2.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you now. Wait a minute, what? Shit, did I miss someone? That's Drow, and that's Hokor. I don't understand. Why is it in the chat that the first damage you drop deals damage to Spore Servant 1, Hokor 1, Basidia, and then the second one you drop in the chat only deals damage to Hokor Servant and to Basidia?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I'm going to fix it. So you dealt 9 damage. So let me just locate the appropriate creature. This should be him. So he goes up to... Oh, that was relevant. He's dead.
And my turn is not over, unfortunately. because that was my bonus action.
Oh,
Now time to Scorching Ray.
okay.
You just got all sorts of tricks up your little sleeves.
Yep. Could you untarget me from them so that I don't double cast?
There you go. You can just drop it on whatever target you want now. Ah! Roll your damage right away. Wait, what? Okay. Roll an extra set of 2d6. Thank you. So I'm going to apply that 9.
That was weird.
That was very weird. I see this thing is already bugging out on me. Additional 9. So that would take me up to that number. So that creature's gone bloodied, by the way. And go ahead and roll additional hits. You hit. Okay. And another hit.
Mission successful!
Will, I just have to say, you're on fire tonight.
Oh, bad.
So anyways, yeah, so after you fling off 2 meteors which impact the ground, you follow it up with a whirl of your fingers, and 3 scorching rays lance out and obliterate Sovereign Basidia. He incinerates and crumples to the ground. And there's a scorched pile of ash that's still burning with smoldering embers upon the ground. Excuse me.
I love roasted mushrooms.
I know,
Mhm.
right? Ront is up. He gets right up to the edge of the cliff, and from there he is going to huck a I'm going to move this. Huck this javelin directly at this dude.
Of course he
And
hits.
he hits, as always. Does a moderate amount of damage. And then it is time for spider bait. He's only... Whoa. Delete that pointer. There we go. Spider bait moves forward just 5 feet. And then he fires off his short bow at the same target. He hits, amazingly enough, and deals, again, a middling amount of damage. So then,
It
this
says to me that he missed. That's weird.
he did miss. I had it covered up by the map.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if that was bugging out.
No, it wasn't, unfortunately. Let me just remove 4 damage from him. And so the hook horror, 5, 10, 15, moves up to here.
What the hell?
It has a climb speed. And it attempts to attack Tristan. And it attempts to attack Tristan. And it hits. And then does right here. Okay, so you can succeed on your concentration. And take 11 points of damage. So next up, Hook Horror Servant 2. Where is he? Oh, he's all the way in the back. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, that was half my HP.
Oh. Servant 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. And 4. Where is 4? Must be this guy. 5, 10, 15, 20. So the hook horrors, as they are lumbering, not racing like you've seen them do in the past, towards the cliffs. And once they get to them, they just use their incredibly large hooks to just dig into the cliffside. And then upon doing so, they
They just
pull
flip
themselves
over
up.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, they pull themselves right up thanks to their incredible strength. So from here, it is Fargus's turn. So he's got to move up. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And from here, he's going to attack the hook horror that went after you, Will. And he misses.
I was about to say you were always my favorite, but you missed, so you're no longer my favorite.
I know, right? So Spore Servant 2 makes it up to here, but he runs out of movement speed when he gets to the cliff. Number 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 moves to here. 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 moves to here. And Melrath, you are up.
I'm going to smack hook. Hook horror number 1.
Excellent.
And that's my turn.
You charge up to the hook horror. You swing your radiant weapon. Let me just double check something. Oh, okay. The hook horror creature doesn't actually seem to have a good sense of light anymore. Like its eyes don't seem to be working. It doesn't react in any way to the sudden, appearance of Dawnbringer. Um, you hear a snide remark about not having been thrown this time and gratitude, and then the fixer-upper, you are up.
So I'll try and attack number 1, I guess. I am going to use double attack. I get 3 per day, and I haven't used any, so I might as well use one.
Okay.
So I'll just drop it on his head. Where is he? Number 1, you said? I can't tell these apart. Oh, okay,
Do
the
they-
wounded one.
Do they not have names for you guys? I thought I left the ID on for them.
Well, it doesn't have a number because their names are too long.
Oh, I see.
But I'll just go with the wounded one. That makes sense.
I can see the numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
It might
That's
be a
weird.
difference between your
Screen resolutions.
yes, that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We'll hit the one that's next to Ron.
Yeah, it's all about saving Ron.
Mm-hmm. Who's Tristan?
If we've learned anything about Ront, it's that he's gonna save his fucking self.
So should I roll damage now or roll the second attack?
Roll the second attack. It's
Okay.
when you crit that we have to worry about it.
Right.
Excellent rolling. Snake could learn a thing or two.
He's just gonna sit tonight out after last time.
All right, you've actually managed to bloody the hook horror at this point.
Oh well. Close. Okay, that's... Oh, actually, let me check something here. Oh, I can cast Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action.
You can.
How nice.
Let's just remove Will's pointer real quick. Create another one. You can make it a circle or whatever shape you want.
All
and
right.
plop it on the field wherever you'd like to.
Does spiritual weapon floats, so it doesn't have a problem with cliffs, I assume. I think.
It does fly. In air, diagonals still count the same way that they do on the ground, so it's a non-issue really. It's just that how do I put this? If you sort of vaguely imagine three-dimensional cube space, as it were, like
Hmm.
the 5-foot square that's occupied by a creature just has to be any 5-foot adjacent square, which includes up in the air. So you could literally have the special weapon floating over their head and bash down upon them.
Okay, so
So
having it right here on the cliff is okay.
perfectly.
Okay, great. So let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. Within 5 feet. Okay. I don't get the movement, but that's okay because I spawned it between two. So I will attack Spore Servant 3.
Okay.
It's a cast or attack. Yeah. I guess
Cast should
cast
do
works.
it. Yeah,
Which one in the list is 3? I'm sorry, I can't see it.
it's okay. 3 is the one that is actually on your level. That is a hook horror, by the way.
I mean, in the combat tracker, where is it?
Oh, hook horror 3 is 2 above Fargus.
Okay. Okay. Nice one. All right, my turn is over.
Okay. So we start back up at the top of the round. Where is 5? Here he is. 5, and then he makes it to here. He's just within range to be able to use a short sword. Hits Ront. Oh, it
No,
actually
Ron,
hits
no.
Ront. I'll be damned.
No.
Ront has taken heavy damage. He maxed out his damage, and he swings that short sword, and Ront wasn't expecting an attack from below. He teeters on the edge, but does not fall over. Bob, it is your turn.
It looks like it's Ron's turn to die.
Could be.
Well, it'll be like the 8th time he's gone into death saves, but he never dies.
Um. All right, that was one, and I missed. And then I do another one.
What are you doing?
He gets double
Oh,
Eldritch
right.
Blasts now.
So that one hit. That's good.
Nice. 2 beams. That's right. Cool.
Excellent. Your Eldritch Beam, the first one lances out and impacts the World Shroom. It doesn't seem to have much,
Oops.
effect. But the second one lands home, and as it always does, the force of your Eldritch Beam tears away at the creature, and it's not looking so great. Snake, you're up.
I will shoot a firebolt off at the engaged hook horror and try and kill it.
I like how Tazarath is just hiding behind that giant smoke cloud.
We're gonna pretend he's not here right now. Excellent. I'm confused. How did you get?
Oh yeah, sorry, I rolled 2 attacks, but they both hit. But I just get 2 damage rolls. I see now.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just roll that once. Ba-ba-ba.
There we go.
Wow, it didn't kill him. Huh.
No. Your firebolt does impact the creature. It does not seem to be especially weak to fire by any stretch of the imagination, despite being made of so much, fungoid material. But the creature is teetering very much on its last legs. It has chunks of its body and the fungal growths upon it that have been, blasted away. So yeah. Tristan, you're up.
I'm going to use my action to take the disengage action.
Okay.
Going to stop there, use my bonus action to fire off 2 more meteors. I've got 4 left, so this will take me down to 2. I'm going to be firing it at the space 1 to the right of the spiritual weapon, so it should hit those.
Excellent. Go for it.
Are they targeted?
Oh, you cut out for me a little bit. I'm not sure which 2 you were trying to target.
I'm trying to target the 3 that are. So I'm going to be hitting the space 1 to the right of the spiritual weapon, so it
Okay.
hits the 3 in that
Right
little
here.
circle.
Right here. Yeah.
Okay. Give me just a second. And you can move your spiritual weapon back. I got it.
All right.
Go for it.
Thank you.
One success, 2 failures. Okay. Well, congrats on having killed off one of the Drow Spore Servants. They don't seem to be able to sustain much damage. The Hook Horror Servants that you've impacted do, however, seem fairly resilient, as indicated by the one that has taken such a beating so far. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to finish my movement
Okay.
and be right there, and I'm getting the. I'm leaving.
Okay. Ront, let's make it Orky. Having taken so much damage from the Drow Spore Servant and generally not doing very well, he misses his attack on the nearby Hook Horror. I think at this point, I think
Ron's
he's
going into death saves. I can feel it.
He might well be, and at this point, I'm going to let you guys save him or not. So Spiderbait fires off his short bow, hoping to take down the Hook Horror. He hits, but does
Nice.
he kill it? Drum roll, please.
All
He
right.
manages to land it. He didn't even do an awful lot of damage, but that was all
Yeah, it was
it took
almost
to
gone.
fell the creature. It teeters and crashes to the ground.
Good job. Spiderbait MVP.
Spiderbait MVP. Wait a minute.
I'm kidding, but it's fun to think that.
5.
So, Tristan, are we still leaving, or do you want to finish off these guys first?
I'm leaving. I don't know about the rest of you all.
They're really easy. It's not going to be a problem.
As long as we can get rid of the Hook Horrors, we'll be fine. It's just they
Mhm.
have a buttload of HP and double attack.
Well, that's unfortunate for Spiderbait.
Oh, instant death. Jeez.
Oh, it is apparently Spiderbait's time, everybody. Let me pull up the dead NPCs list. Let's see here.
I feel much less bad about this, considering that you said there were no happy ends for only. There were only happy ends for like 2.
Yeah. How did Yuck Yuck die?
Don't
Oh,
remember.
he died from a crit to a Hook Horror.
It's a common theme.
Died to demonic Hook Horror Fungoid Beast. Those poor goblins do not bode well against Hook Horrors, which is actually extraordinarily appropriate. Spiderbait is removed. Next up, Hook Horror 4. Where are you, buddy?
Nice knowing you.
10, 15.
You should try and
20.
attack the spiritual weapon.
That's as far as he can make it, so he takes one swing at Ron.
And Ron is down.
Probably, yeah. Let's see if he hits the
Aw.
second one. He misses. Will this do it? He could roll poorly.
Yeah, he's
Ront
down.
is in death saving throws.
That's a pretty common spot for him.
Fargus. Okay, so at this point, crossbow. Wink.
Wow, missed on a 14?
I know, right? Yeah, that's unfortunate. So he misses his attack, and he also is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. Back up a bit, because he's got some range. Skip him. Drow Servant 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. He makes it to here. And 5, 10, 15, and then he can't make it any further. And from here, Melrath, you're up.
I think I'll attack number 3.
Go for it.
Roll better, Melrath.
Thank you.
Wow. Also, kudos on the +10 to attacks. Don't you get... No, you don't. Okay, cool. Fixer-upper. Good luck.
It wouldn't be a problem, if... all right. I will move here. Oh, I also should attack with a spiritual weapon. I'll do that first.
I don't really need that.
I'll attack 4.
Okay.
Now, which one is 4?
It's the one directly north of your spiritual weapon.
I mean, on the combat tracker.
Oh, sorry. Directly north of, or one up from Fargus.
Okay.
Oh, Brett. In the lower right-hand corner, you can actually expand.
Yeah, I just found it. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm glad it wasn't a screen issue. Okay. So yeah, I'll do that first. All right, rolls are coming up aces. So I'll use double attack again on Servant 3.
Okay.
Man, how are you guys getting all these double attacks? I need to get in on that.
Melee power, bro.
Yeah, melee characters get a lot of these.
Only war priests do, not regular priests.
Yeah. But fighters and I think paladins too end up stacking extra attacks, so like they get to a point where they actually end up taking 3 or 4 or making 3 or 4 attacks in a turn.
God, what is with the rolls?
I don't know, but you managed to hit with one of them at least.
Okay then.
All right. That was an attack. We start back at the top with Drow Spore Servant 5, who I believe... Yeah, so now that he's finally finished off Run, he's coming up here. He's feeling good about himself. He's going to take a mighty swing at Melrath. Not mighty enough. Against someone actually capable of fighting, your shield is more than sufficient to just deflect his feeble blows. I mean, these creatures are essentially zombies, so yeah. Bob.
Yeah, they're really garbage.
Okay. Well, since these bastards have a lot of health. Failure.
Hold on just a second. Shield on reaction. Okay.
Nice.
Haha. Take that.
That is a lot of damage. Very well done. You actually managed to push that particular Hookor into bloodied state. So he's at or below half his points.
That's it for my spell slot. Well.
Snake, you are up.
Oh, somewhere along the way, I got to roll and see if they had any weaknesses. So I'll continue that. I don't know. Probably not good enough.
Not good enough. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know what, I think I'm actually going to shrink this down a little bit. There we go. So move this over here so I'm not missing as much. And then, yeah, I'll leave this over here. Okay.
So Snake's gonna move fighting retreat style
Mm-hmm.
to here, I guess.
Okay.
And then I'll fire firebolt. Or is Bob in the way of that?
No,
I
you can
forgot if
fire
that
through
matters.
allies.
Okay. Can I hit him? No, I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
I mean, if you roll a 1, you might.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That would be worth it. Actually, he was just quite useful, so I shouldn't say that.
is anybody gonna save Ront?
Well, he's
Well,
in death save, so
he's in death saves, and also at this particular moment, you guys are fighting retreating. So if you fight retreat enough and make it far enough away from him, you know,
he can
after a
die.
certain point, if you actually just break and run, you left him to die.
I mean, I could run over and touch him, but I don't want to get that close.
What will touching
Smart move.
help you with?
I have Spare the Dying,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not the healer, so you know.
Oh, okay. So that's a hit. Nine. All right. I guess that's my turn.
Yep. Extra damage always ends up helping out, and it impacts the creature. These fungoid beasts don't like. It's obvious that when they've taken damage, you can see, like I said, scorch marks, chunks blown out of them, but they never have the actual reaction that living creatures have. Um, they just sort of tend to, you know, wobble for a moment and then regain their stability and keep on ticking. So Tristan, you're up.
Use my last second level spell slot to hit him with Scorching Ray. Could you move the? If I just drag it over to our servant 3, will it do the normal?
On the map, yeah. Hmm. Okay. Wait, Bob threw out damage?
Uh,
No, I didn't.
Says
yeah, he did.
damage 2,
Oh,
Toll the Dead.
sorry, I'm just looking at it.
Just trying to sneak that in there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't think it
No
actually
one will
applied.
know.
Yeah, it didn't apply to anything. It's fine.
I'm just throwing spells out left and right.
Tristan, aren't you short one of your Scorching Rays?
Oh no, the first one missed.
The... Oh, it did. Okay. Right. Anyways, yes, excellent. The scorching rays, you know, set the creature alight. A lot of the fungus sort of burns away and reveals that, you know, purple oozing sores afterwards. Let me clear that out. And then Ront is going to make his first death saving throw. He succeeds. Let me just double check.
Good job, Ron.
Yeah, he has a good con. Hook Horror Servant 2. Where are you, buddy? All the way over there. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. And then 3 is this guy, so he's gonna wail on Melrath. Or not. I got a 20,
Yeah, I'm going to use shield.
which puts you at above 20, but what's the actual number?
25.
Okay. Yeah, so in reaction to almost being hit, Melrath whirls, raises the shield, and deflects the hook horror's massive, sickly blade. Hook horror 4, you're really his only target, so he's still going to try to hit you. Oh shit. What is defense effects +1? Oh, maybe that just is letting me know. And actually, I just fucked that up. I should have rolled damage first. And then I'll just roll it again. There you go. So that critical hit manages to, ricochet off your shield and still land solidly in your shoulder. It does a pretty significant amount of damage too. Fargus is up. From this point, he's going to try to take on the most weakened opponent. He misses, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And skip him. Drow, Spores, Servant 3, 5, 10, 15. He whips out a short sword and swings it at Bob for a hit and lands 7 points of damage. Spore Servant 4. 15.
Who was that, Snake?
No, that was you.
No, who hit me though?
Oh,
Why would Snake hit you?
Drow
Because you
Spores?
tried to last time.
It was a drow that's been infected by the fungus. And thank God you guys took out Philo from above. I mean, if he'd been up here, this probably would be a lot worse. Melrath, you are up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to use second wind, so I'll gain 5 plus a.
Okay. I think you need to 9. Okay, I'll just apply that. Should take you
That
to-
was a nice roll.
It was.
And then I'll try and attack hook horror number 3. Can I choose to do a damage now to see if I can save the attack or something?
You should continue rolling. Again, it only matters if you get a crit.
No, he meant, can he redirect his, if the first attack is enough to kill the hook horde number 3, can he choose to
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Go ahead and roll your damage. Yes, you can redirect. You can. The rules technically say that you.
I'll just try and kill it.
Okay. And you succeed. Your radiant damage cleaves the hook horror in 2, and you managed to take him out. So let me get him off the field. And next up, Fixer Upper.
I will spiritual weapon hook horror 4.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll use my. Oh, go ahead.
No. The force damage cannot be prevented, so it just clangs against the creature and does a decent amount of damage, knocking off a chunk of its shell.
Crap, just lost the map.
Oh, hold on a second. I got you.
Thanks.
There.
And then the map didn't come up for me.
Well, I shared it again. Actually, why don't you go into images and see if you can find it among the shared list. It should be alphabetical.
What's it called?
Neverlight Grove map.
That would make sense. There it is. Okay, and then I'm going to I can't move without opportunity of attack, correct?
You can use your action to take the disengage action, and then at that point you would just not have an action, you would just move. You did technically get an attack from spiritual weapon anyway, so it's not a complete loss.
I think I'd rather attack something.
Okay.
So I'll attack Servant 3, the drow.
The drow. Okay, go for it. Okay.
Right.
So he's bloodied now from just perfectly
All right, I guess that's my turn.
Wait a minute. Don't you get double attacks?
Well, I have one, but I don't want to use it on something crappy. So
You can split
I
your
have one
attacks
remaining.
however you want.
Yeah, but can I touch anything of value? No, I'm surrounded by spore servants that are drow, not hook horrors.
Okay,
I'm holding on to it.
but you'll never get to use it, is my point. As soon as you end your turn, it's just gone.
He has
No.
limited use double attacks.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I
never
have
mind.
used 2 of my 3 for the day. Excuse me.
Okay, I'm with you now. That's what was missing. So, Spore Servant 5 is up. He is going to stab at Fixer Upper. And
Pathetic.
Fixer Upper, however, is all of his instincts are firing, and he manages to deflect the blade. Bob, you're up.
Okay.
Fair warning.
So
The creature that is within 5-foot range of you causes disadvantage on any attack rolls that you have to make. Saving throws do not get disadvantage.
okay. But if I move away, he has a chance to attack.
Yes. So here's things that you can do. You can cast spells with saving throws. You can spend your normal action, which will prevent you from casting a spell, to use disengage, which lets you just move your movement speed away from him without drawing an attack of opportunity.
But that takes up my chance to attack, right?
Correct.
Yes.
But I could still cast a spell. I would just have disadvantage.
Yeah, well, unless you have a save spell.
Well, it has a save component, but
There you go.
Wow, he had a. Oh, you can't see that. Can you?
Yeah.
5.
Do you see anything other than 5?
He probably rolled a nat 1.
Nope, just a 5.
Okay, that's fine. He fails.
So is the disadvantage going to automatically calculate?
No?
Yeah, there's no disadvantage.
It was a save.
So,
There's no disadvantage.
yeah.
And anyway, you melted his brain in half.
Apparently, jeez.
you just flick your wrist as if to ring a small bell, and the creature just explodes unconscious.
Yeah.
The necrotic damage.
Good God.
It says instant death.
I gotta say that was a bit of a waste for a 23 damage, but whatever.
It got him off the field.
It's only a cantrip.
I know. That's one hell of a cantrip.
Oh, actually, before your turn ends, if you want to do any additional movement, now you're not being threatened, so you're free to do so.
I'll stick around. Now they're scared of me.
Maybe. Snake, you're up.
Unholy aura.
It's my race.
Yep. I will fire at Hook for 4. with Firebolt.
Okay.
Nice.
Excellent. So you've knocked the creature into a bloodied state, which is good. Getting there slowly but surely. Did you want to move or anything else before your turn ends?
Bob's closer.
Don't have to outrun the bear.
Yep.
Tristan, you're up.
I'm just going to. I still have 2 of the meteors, but I'm going to hold on to them until Ront is out of friendly fire radius. Because he might die, but I don't want to be the one.
Right.
I don't care if he dies, but I do care if I'm the one that kills him.
There's a little bit of something in there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
yeah.
what.
I mean, kobolds and orcs are not exactly on the friendliest terms.
That's true.
normally.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Stop tempting me. Okay, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on number.
Hook Horror 4 or Drow Servants
Yes,
4?
Hook Horror 4. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Ooh.
So it does damage.
Yep.
Yep.
Does damage.
Nice.
15. Excellent.
Jeez, I gotta get this. Do I get access to this? Wow. I'm gonna
I don't
do.
think you do actually.
Yeah, I think I would have gotten it. It's really good for a cantrip.
It is really good for a cantrip, especially now that you've leveled. Anyway, so you two, flick your wrist, and another bell tolls that only the Hook Horror can feel as another chunk is exploded out of it. Next up is Runt, and he gets a +3. Is it? Yeah, because that's the one below there, which puts him at 11, which means he succeeds. If he gets one more success, he'll pop up with 1 hit point. Hook Horror Servant 2. Where are you? 5, 10, 15, 20. We have some murdering to do now. There we go. And that's a miss. And that is also a miss. Okay.
Murdering, you said?
Yes, murdering.
Yeah, I don't
Horror
get access to
4
Toll the Dead.
fires off Hook 1, Hook 2. That one hits, unless.
Yeah, I'm using shield again.
Probably a good decision.
How long does shield last?
Only that
Only
round.
that round. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, Fargus is going to fire at Drow Spore Servant 5. He hits.
Nice.
Which, wait a minute. Let me put this on him. And then hand crossbow. There we go. Wait a minute. I thought that was a drow. It is a drow. What the hell's going on here? he just rolled really, really poorly. 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
Yeah, so he does 8 damage, which
With
puts the
3
creature
rolls.
into bloodied values, but does not actually kill it. And that was with his sneak attack. That's really actually pretty pathetic. So despite having been lined up pretty well, distracted by Melrath and the Fixer Upper, the bolt only manages to glance the side of his head, which does a fair amount of damage, but not enough to kill the poor creature. Drow Spore Servant 4, however, is going to 5, 10, 15, move into position, and stabs at Snake, and misses pathetically. Melrath, you are up.
I'm going to hit number 4, the Hook Horror.
Goodbye.
Well, done. So that Spore Servant is out of the way. And anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Fixer Upper.
All right, I'll double attack Spore Servant 2, the Hook Horror.
Okay, why don't you make your attack first? And actually, 2, you say? He hasn't taken any damage. So yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, take an attack and see what happens, but yeah, you're
No,
not gonna
yeah.
kill him in one swing.
Not going to be killing him, but
No.
yeah, just try to hurt him. All right. So it's number 2. Okay. Nice. Ugh. All right, and then Spiritual Weapon will just try and finish off the Spore Servant, I guess.
Okay, sure. One more thing on the field.
Mm-hmm. Or not. All right, that's my turn.
Okay. And with that last swing of the Spiritual Hammer, Drow Spore Servant number 5 is up. He is going to attempt to swing at Melrath. Ha! That was real bad. That was a natural one. So he totally fumbles that attack, having been knocked off balance by the Spiritual Weapon. Bob, you are up, and you were in the similar situation last time. Although I think you'll be able to get yourself out of it.
Can I point at somebody again?
You
Yeah.
can Toll the Dead. Yep.
Toll the Dead on number 4.
Actually,
Explode it.
it's only a D8 if it's not missing any
It's
hit
2d8.
points.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Then you may
So
also
I could-
wish to direct that to somebody else that has
Like the Hook Horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bam.
Okay, so it fails.
Failure.
Ooh,
Oh.
not as good as last time.
Damn it.
Sorry. So
Well,
this
I
particular
hope I don't
creature
die.
does not resonate quite as badly as other creatures have in the past. Snake, you are up, and you are also in a somewhat awkward situation.
Yeah, and I don't have Toll the Dead.
Do you have any saving throw spells?
Fireball for Toll the Dead. I don't know if it's worth it. Shocking Grasp, is that? Oh, that's... That's a melee touch. Shouldn't that be allowed?
Yes, it
Allowed?
is allowed. Yes.
Okay, so
It's
no
only
disadvantage on that.
It's ranged spell attacks that.
Okay, so
yeah.
melee's fine. All right, good. So I do have something. So I'll try to shock him.
Before you roll any damage, just make sure that the dice calculation on that is correct. I think I fixed
It's
all your stuff.
2d8. Yeah, I edited it thanks to your recommendation.
Excellent. Go for it.
Or not 2d8. I'm looking at a cold spell.
Yeah, it's 2d6.
Oh, he's not wearing armor.
Wait a minute. The drow? Let me double check that. I think he might actually.
Metal armor?
Yeah, chain shirt. The hook horrors are not wearing any armors, but the drow
Oh,
Spore
okay.
Servants are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have advantage on the attack roll because he's wearing metal armor, interestingly enough.
Oh, good. Make sure you apply that.
All right. Interesting. So, all right, clicked advantage. And then I'll cast on, which one was it? 4?
This is 4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Oh, well, that's disappointing. All right.
Sorry. Tristan, you're up.
Okay, for my bonus action, I'm going to use the rest of my miniature meteors on Spore Servant to Hook Horse.
2. Okay, go for it.
Failure.
Good, good.
So exactly how minute are these little meteors?
About the size of your fist.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
and you almost maxed out damage. Well done. Okay, so it all kind of evened out. But yeah, 2 meteors streak forward and impact the ground behind the hook core, blowing a chunk and a crack into its shell. So it continues to take a battering. Next up is Ront.
Oh no, that's my bonus action.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Next, I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the hook horror. Wait, no, it's a zombie. It's a zombie. Never mind. I'm not that dumb. Toll the Dead. Toll the Dead.
There you go. Wow.
He's
These
not having
saves have been terrible. Boom. Nice.
All right, that's another pretty decent chunk of damage. So in this turn alone, you've done like 29 points of damage
Yeah, that's really
across
good.
various types. So Ront gets to make his roll now. Let's see if he succeeds. He finally has a failure. So he's at 2 successes, 1 failure. Hook Horror Servant 2 is up. He is going to attempt to batter the Fixer Upper. But your armor and shield are just too much for it to make it through.
He missed on a 19.
Those are incredibly strong swings, though. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fargus is up. That little coward is going to wait. It's going to fire off a hand crossbow to try to take that out and protect the casters, but misses. Then it is up to Drow Spore Servant 4, who will swing at Bob and misses. Melrath, you are up.
Don't make me point at you.
Nelrath, what's your AC?
20.
Ah, we have the same. Nice. Goodbye. Maybe. Yep.
Okay. Well, you've managed to knock him into death once more. Just mopping up that battlefield. And that was both your attacks. So unless you're going to move, it's Fixer Upper's turn.
All right, Spiritual Weapon will again attempt to kill that one.
Okay.
Which is number 5. Okay. Wow.
Oh no.
All right, then I will have to swing at it, I suppose. Okay,
Good.
there we go.
Nice. Okay, excellent. So you bring your warhammer down upon the drow's head. It cracks open like a spoiled egg, and the creature is now deceased. We start at the top of the round. Bob, you're up.
Finish it off, Bob.
Depending on what you're doing here.
Well, since he's wounded now.
Yep.
Not looking good for him.
Nope. Goodbye.
Oh no. You finally managed it. So with the death of that final Spore Servant, let me get to the... Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Down here. Nope, a little bit further. Okay. At that point, you hear a massive cry echo from inside of Yigmorgus. It sounds that Zugtamoy is aware of the death of her servants and is in a rage about it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Should we start running?
Yes.
Yeah. So the question is, are you going to stop for Ront, or are you going to...
Well, Fixer Upper can spare the dying. He's only 2 squares away.
Yeah, but Spare the Dying doesn't actually make him conscious and movable.
Oh, we have to wait till he...
You have to actually heal him. So For the purposes of this, I'm actually fine with just taking Tazarath's ability and ticking down his lay on hands
Okay.
by 1. So
I'm fine with it too.
4.
Ditto.
Could we not just pick up Ront and have somebody carry him?
He's a 6'5", 235-pound orc.
Well, I didn't say me.
um,
Make Fargus carry him.
so at this point, let me just get to the final part needed here. Here. So I'm just reviewing some information here to make sure.
We miss you, Spider Bait.
I know, right?
Do we though?
No.
Okay. So
Ront is much more useful.
Exactly.
He just take hits.
At this point, the party starts to beat a very hasty retreat out of Neverlight. Now you pass beside Sovereign Basidia, and he sees all of you come running down from the welcome garden, and he's heard these cries. He's seen explosions and light. So
he saw some shit.
yeah. Now
Later, dude.
Myconids don't have expressions; their faces are set. So you hear what you interpret as a worried tone. My friends, what have you discovered? What have you done?
There's a demon lord. Run. Get all your people out of here now. You've got like 5 seconds.
Basidia immediately unleashes a large psychic wave of alarm, which does nothing for your nerves, but it does alert all of the other Myconid, and everybody races towards the entrance to Neverlight Grove, which fortunately is in the exact opposite direction of Yig Morgus. So the party, manages to race through. Everybody escapes into the cave beyond, and then from there, the Myconids scatter in all directions. Some of them follow you for a distance. Some of the Myconids scatter to the south. But you guys run, and you run for a while, like a good 3 or 4 hours, trying to put as much distance as you can between them. And when you stop, all of you are just heaving, especially Ron, who's already in pretty bad shape. Everybody's just sucking in breath and trying to sort of recoup from the situation you had just found yourself in. And you suddenly stop and take a look around and realize that in this cave, there is a partly demolished dwelling. There's also some cobblestones along the ground, which is funny because it's a cave floor. You wouldn't think it would be necessary, but here you are. So, what will you do?
So I'm sorry. Are we still in Neverlight Grove? Or...
You've run 3 hours away from Neverlight Grove.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yes, it's a very long time. You guys were jogging at a pretty decent pace too.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
And so you're in a cave. There are some cobblestones along the floor that indicate a old path that must have lain here before. There is a partially collapsed dwelling. There is the entrance that you came into, and the entrance that you can leave from the cave from.
Will, were you going to say something?
I was saying we could potentially hide up and take a long rest in the partially collapsed dwelling.
Indeed.
That sounds like a good idea.
Give me just a second. I need to pop up for just a second and grab a piece of paper where I wrote stuff. I left it over in the other room. Be right back.
Also, does anyone remember what those 3 scrolls were from last game?
No, didn't you get them, or did someone else?
Yeah, but they're just in my inventory as scroll, and scroll.
Oh.
I do not.
No.
So now that's 2, like, demigod things that we've released? Is that right? Or prevented from...
Well, we didn't release the second one, as far as I can tell. We just, I mean, she was already out in Shoots at the boot.
Oot and a boot. We gotta stop running into these guys, though. Jeez.
It's not very much fun living in the Underdark when these demon gods are always rising from the,
I know, right?
from hell. It's not fun.
We're just trying to get out, guys.
Yeah.
Isn't there a ladder somewhere?
I just wanted to see music with the mushrooms. What's wrong with that?
Guys, we ate part of the world tree. I think we're in trouble.
Okay. So anyways, I am gonna roll a dice real quick.
If that's an encounter-based roll that may have adverse consequences, can I just prayer of healing all of our wounded people first?
Yeah, if they don't show up. So I rolled the dice. You may choose to do that now.
Okay.
But should we?
Give me just a second, though. What I want to do is set the targeting properly. Now you can heal 6 people. 1, 2,
Yes,
3,
and
4,
let's see,
5,
6 wounded
6.
people.
Okay.
So I can just drop that in chat.
Hold on.
Okay.
Working on it. Okay, go for it.
Wow, that was terrible.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, you've managed to do a fair bit of healing. So at this point, like I said, you guys had run for a good long distance. You're here, you're heaving. You take 10 minutes to cast this spell, and people's wounds recover, and they... Okay, that's weird. There we go. I could have sworn I covered him, but he doesn't show up in the list. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I've got it taken care of. In the course of that 10 minutes, you hear some noises from the cave behind you, and everybody wearily draws their weapon. You're looking down that cave passage, and ultimately nothing shows up. So at this point, you sort of have a choice of, like Will said, you can try to stop here and rest for the night. You know, you've only just run to this location, so you're not entirely certain that it's safe. But the partially collapsed dwelling is large enough, despite having been collapsed, to you know, fit people. So you can either do that or continue on without rest.
we really need to rest for our spellcasters at this point, I would say.
Okay. Then I'm going to make another roll.
Can we like set up watch to take turns, or
You actually already have a watch, but good question. The watch order actually seems to be just Fixer-Upper. I don't know.
Perception god.
Perception. Oh, well, actually, you know what? The second best person for it is Tristan, and Tristan was not present when the watch order was set up. And actually,
Oh, okay.
for purposes of this, I'm going to change the marching order a little bit as well, because now it incorporates Tristan, so that's important too. So the watch order is set as Fixer-Upper has first watch and Tristan has second watch.
Okay.
It's pretty cold here. Are you guys comfortable also setting up a fire? There is a fire pit on the inside of the collapsed dwelling towards the center. So
I feel like that's a pointed question.
no one's saying it's not.
So in this partially collapsed dwelling, is there only like one entrance and exit?
No, there are in fact a couple of different wall chunks that are missing, where creatures could enter from as many as 5 different points around the structure.
What do you guys think?
What exactly is the benefit of the fire? Just So say Ront doesn't complain about it being cold.
Well, your general comfort. There is no true
Aha.
advantage.
Well, I would say based on the 5 entrance points that I'd be a little worried of having a fire, especially since we can all see in the dark anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right, so everybody hunkers down. You all take in cold meals. Morale is fairly low, but I think that's appropriate when having confronted yet another demon lord having made its way onto the prime material plane.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that from that point, I'm going to give everybody a long rest. Let's see here. You, long, you, also long. Oops. That one and that one. Click, click,
Yay.
click, click, click. All right. At this point, you guys have a general sense of, the direction that you were running. From the last time you saw a map, you have a pretty decent idea of which direction Blingden Stone lies from here. And Blingden Stone is also a fairly major trading hub. So once you get within a decent distance of it, you should start coming across a variety of different traders. And the the traders have been known to go to the surface world. Blinkton Stone is famous for having aided surface dwarves who dug a bit too deep and got close enough to the Underdark that a drow war party was dispatched, and they attempted to take that fortress, and then from there they were going to launch raids on the surface world and declare war. But the deep gnomes, I believe it is, of Blinkton Stone came to their aid and turned the battle against the drow and drove them off. But of course, the drow did not take very kindly to that.
Mhm.
So that is what you are aware of at present.
Quick question, Alex.
Hmm.
Could since it's almost 9, can I cast Identify on the items we got from the Drow?
Oh yes. Shit. Give me just a second. I gotta remember where they went. I know one of them is in your inventory.
I got some scroll.
Let's see here. I see them. Okay, that's one. That's two. And that's three. So now your scrolls are identified.
There's also a bag of some sort.
Bag up here. Click. And Melrath has some of them. Inventory. Okay. Okay. You find, well, I'm gonna get all this stuff identified before
Looks like Snake has a potion.
I will also get to that.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
And, oh, sadly, no additional bottles of Filters of Love. I know those are your favorite, Eric.
I'm still trying to find a use.
uh,
Ooh, nice.
so you've got a potion of invisibility, a +2 short sword, a +2 studded leather armor. There is also. Oh, by the way, the +2 studded leather armor counts as light armor for those of
Right.
you
Very
that
nice.
have training for it. So that may be able to go to. I'm not sure, but anyways, let me go to Snake before I forget. And inventory, potion, potion of greater healing.
Great.
And let me see. I feel like Tazarath had something as well.
I think so.
Let me check his inventory.
He's a greedy one. He always gets stuff.
Medpack. Book? Is this it? No. Maybe it's this. No, he does have chainmail though. Oh, he's wearing that. That's why. Dagger. Is that it? No. Don't think it's that. Is it these? No. Is it this? No. Nope. Apparently I'm just full of it. He doesn't have anything.
Huh.
Anything that's not identified, I mean.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, those are the pieces of equipment you have. Do you guys have a particular way that you intend to distribute those? Does anybody, for example, want the short sword or the studded leather?
Who was using a short sword? I was
Um,
using a +1 dagger. I don't.
The short sword is capable of being used by anybody that can wield light weapons. So you might want to check your, I think it might be under abilities for your the
Class.
proficiency,
Oh.
what you're proficient with. It is a +2 short
Oh.
sword. So, +2 is
Oh, okay.
better
So
than
Snake's
+1.
only proficient with daggers, not light weapons. Okay.
Right.
Is that the same as a simple weapon?
It is not, I don't think. Because, and I'm going to check, let's see here, if I go to equipment and then I go to weapon, no, it is not the same. Like a quarterstaff or a sickle is an example of a simple weapon.
Well,
Actually, it
I'm
turns out
insulted.
this is a martial weapon. That's the missing piece of information. If you can
Huh.
if you can wield martial weapons, you can wield a short sword.
I'm still insulted.
I apologize. Now, I'm not certain, but Bob, can you wear light armor?
I can, but I already have studded leather in my inventory.
This is studded leather +2.
Okay.
So it's magical armor with +2 bonus to armor class.
Does somebody else want my other studded leather?
Is it just regular?
I guess.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think anyone's gonna need or want that. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Yeah, let me just
if
check.
nobody wants it, I'll take it.
Sounds like it's all yours. So I'm plopping that in your inventory, and then we click that to equip it. Take off this studded leather, and then let me just check the main menu. Let's see here. The armor
Oh, do you
class
mind if we start leveling up? Because I thought we were going to be allowed to do that.
Yes, actually,
Since it's
that's a
afternoon.
perfect way to close this out. We'll do that, and then we'll just leave it there. And if you guys want to level up at the beginning of next time, you're welcome to, but you're allowed to level up now. So go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna shut down the stream, but I'll still be here and available if you have questions while you're leveling up.